a grandmother.
Women in leadership, business, and lifestyle.
I know I do. Sometimes it can be overwhelming.
And welcome to another segment of the Lifin Talk. And today, here with me, my very special guest and collaborator, Dr. Rose White. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having
You're
me.
so welcome. And I'm sure that you have, hopefully, you've seen another segment. But Dr. Rose, please share with the audience a little bit about you.
Well, I am the founder and president of Elevate Pathways Coaching and Consulting. I do live here in the state of sunny Florida. And we are all about helping individuals to find out their purpose in life, living out a life of destiny, but being able to be elevated to move out to be the best that you have been created to be, building confidence, helping you to find out what it is that you want to do in life, and sharing with you strategies to be able to get from point A to point Z. You hear me say not from point A to point B, but to get from A to Z.
That's really good. So I want to, before I start, I want to encourage each and every one of you to subscribe, and also hit the like button, and please share, because this is what we're here each segment to offer some strategies and tips and life coaching fuel, because it's important as we all are in this thing called life, to learn and to share with others. So I thought, Dr. Rose, we start this topic of living from the inside out, which is a powerful topic. And you may say, what is that? Well, you know what? Living from the inside out from a life coach perspective, and I'm going to get your take on it, but really it's about building your inner character, identifying your character, your strengths, and getting to know who you are, your genuine self, or some of you may put it as authentic self. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today and give you some good strategies on where you can maybe have that thought process with you, and maybe just build upon that, because we're always changing and we're always striving to get better. So Dr. Rose, I'm going to start with you. What does that mean to you, living from the inside out? And if you could say, from helping your clients with exactly that, how do you get started with that conversation and identify that? What would you say to that?
Living from the inside out and being able to apply that to my clients, it's all about conviction. I would say it's all about a belief system, ideology. What is it that's on the inside that makes you tick? What is it on the inside that brings you joy, brings you pleasure, brings you excitement, gives you your why, your reason why you do what you do? And so when you understand those basic principles and you have those concepts in mind, now you can take that's on the inside, and be able to have it to manifest on the outside. Talking about living from inside, bringing it on the outside. So again, I truly believe it's all about acting from what convicts you, not what is convenient, but what is it that really motivates me, that gives me my reason why I do what I do. And that's a large part of what I would say is the beginning, because once you have that, everything in life, even down to the decisions that you make, my clients, I help them to be able to make wise decisions. And so wise decisions comes also from the inside, the convictions that you have, the beliefs that you have, the decisions that you make are guided by your why, your purpose. What makes you tick, not because you're pressured into it, but it's because you believe in it. And so you're able to respond from what's on the inside by basing everything on what you identify with.
And with that, so what are maybe 4 things that you really think are laying a foundation of starting to have that mindset shift to really look internally and start living your best life from inside? So, change inside, enhancing your character from the inside, and then bringing it out. So, what would you say are top 4?
Top four, I would say, is conviction, number one. Second thing is values, having set values. The third thing I would believe that it would be is purpose.
Yes.
What is the purpose? And then fourth thing that I would look at is identity. Those would be the four things.
Well, and that definitely is the top, I would say. And we could really kind of dig deeper. So I also would add to that is really knowing what type of character you are. What kind of person do you identify to be? What are your traits, in the strengths that you have? Do you consider yourself a loving person? Do you consider yourself to be compassionate and caring? Um, so those are 3. Some negative characteristics that maybe you need to think about and shift over is selfish. You could be selfish and really not knowing, being having those characteristics of being selfish, because there's so many subcategories of that. And it could be self-absorbed. Most oftentimes, a lot of people are self-absorbed, and maybe in a situation where you have a spouse, we women are very passionate, and it's said to, you probably heard that women have a lot more in their vocabulary. They say a lot more words on a daily basis than men do. And sometimes, with being not necessarily always realizing that some people are self-absorbed, and maybe you feel as a wife, or it could be too on the other side, a husband that you're not validated or you're not seen. Um, so be thinking about that, because sometimes without knowing, that happens a lot. And then, compassion. Are we compassionate about other people and circumstances and situations? Are we judgmental? Okay. So do we show judgment? And sometimes that happens without us really um, recognizing it. So, all this to say, this conversation is a dialogue between life coaches, and talking about real topics, real conversation of what comes up in our lives, and clients that we help, and help to really dig deeper within ourselves, because when we do that, we become aware And it's always about personal growth. And as I said, for the topic of this today's conversation, it's living from the inside out.
Yes.
And once we really kind of take a self inventory, as I always say in several segments, because it's so true, that has to start. You have to start at point A to build up. So once you identify your characteristics, you're going to have those aha moments.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, definitely.
Dr. Rose?
Most definitely so. You talked about character, and building character definitely comes from the inside,
Yes.
whether it's good or whether it's bad.
Yeah.
It starts from the inside. And so character develops in many different layers. And so because Liz talked about some of the bad characteristics, and then when we look at the good characteristics of us as people, again, all coming from the inside, it's all developed in various layers. And so when we think about the various layers of character, it has a lot to do with identity, which was one of the top tiers that I had mentioned.
Yes.
Dealing with identity, who you believe that you are. What do you say that you are? Who do you say that you are? But secondly, it's all about beliefs. What is it that you believe is true? Not based on what I may believe about you is true, or what Liz might believe about you is true, but what is it that you believe? And see, that can be good, bad, and indifferent. I believe that I'm a wonderful person. I believe that I'm just
so
not
true,
I'm
because
just not
she
a good.
is.
Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. But anyway, what is it that you believe? But when we think about beliefs, what you believe is your truth, whether it is good or bad. If you believe that you will never succeed in life, you won't. If you believe that you will become a multimillionaire, you will. You see, because it is what you believe to be true. The next thing I would think is values. We're talking about those characteristics that start from the inside. It's values. What matters the most to you? For some of you, it may be your family, could be your career, your business, your ministry, your title, your job. What matters? But then we think about convictions. And convictions is a very important part, because that's what you stand for, even when you are under high pressure, even when mess is hitting the fan. That it's your convictions. What will you stand for? What will you allow and what will you disallow? But then we think about habits. I used to conduct a program that had a lot to do with hurts, habits, and hangups. And so, what are your habits? What is it that you constantly do repeatedly over and over and over again? That's very important, because that's a characteristic. That's a character that is coming from the inside, that habit. But lastly, I would say it's reputation. How is it that other people experience you? How do they see you? Yesterday, I happened to be filling out a questionnaire, and one of the questions that it was asking me is, do people see you as an influencer or not? Do people take what you say and run with it, or do they not? Do people see you as a leader?
Good point.
How do people see? That's your reputation. Or is it that they see you as a troublemaker, a person that's indecisive? They see you as a procrastinator. They see you as one that's constantly questioning not only yourself, but questioning everyone else. That's reputation. How do others experience you? So all of this makes up the character that starts from the inside. and it manifests itself on the outside.
Very good point. And I would say, sometimes we often are influenced by our how we were raised, how our mother and our father, what they said to us. Did they build us up or knock us down? Um, and the environment in which we lived. And that is something that probably um, influenced who you are.
Mhm.
And I'm here to tell you that if you want to make a change, you can make a change.
Yeah.
Build that new foundation. Start living from the inside. And you know what? We all have cracks. That's
Yeah.
just the bottom line. From character to, our values and things of that nature, because this is life and
Yeah.
life, this thing called life, it's all a school of lessons in our
Yes.
life. But you start in the now and today. It's time to set a new foundation. And where does it start? It starts with a mind shift. And so you be the change maker because you are in control of your own life.
Mhm.
So I want to leave you with one thought. And also, I want Dr. Rose to say a departing thought as well. What is one character that you want to change today? It starts with one. What foundation, what new foundation do you want to build? Because if you build your inner life and a strong foundation, you can weather any storm that comes. And Dr. Rose, do you want to say a parting thought?
I would just say to everyone and anyone that is listening, become whole. Become that whole you. Keep that commitment to yourself that you are going to think positive things. You are going to walk in being the best person that you can possibly be from the inside out, being that person of integrity, being that person that will see everything from a glass full, not even half full, but full rather than empty.
And change starts today because we live in the now. Tomorrow's not promised. So if you feel that you want to be a higher version of yourself, be the best authentic self, then it starts with a mind shift and a different perspective. And that's what starting to live from the inside out is all about. Because when you have that rock solid foundation, knowing who you are, the best version of you, when you start seeing that within you, living from the outside enhances everything.
Yeah.
So thank you, Dr. Rose, for
Thank you.
coming and being a guest on today's topic.
Thank you.
And I hope that each and every one of you got a couple of life coaching fuel and tips today. So until next time, have a great day and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye now.